So next up, the main event for UFC Vegas 27, we have Rob Font versus Cody No Love Garbrandt.
Rob Times New Roman Font, baby.
Comic Sans Font.
Hell yeah.
So I think we're all kind of in agreement on this one. We did speak a little bit before the show, and I think we're all going to be backing each other up on this pick, man. Rob Font, he's beat some great competition. He beat Sergio Pettis, who's now the champ over at Bellator. He had a first-round KO over Thomas Almeida. And against a guy like Cody Garbrandt, this is going to be a stand-up fight. It's going to be a boxing match more than anything because neither of these guys are really great at like takedowns or even takedown defense or anything like that. So I think they both understand this is going to be a big, like, in-the-pocket boxing match. I know all-out brawl and dogfight. I have a feeling that that's the reason why this is the main event for fight night. This is a fight that's going to draw a lot of people in with a nice KO. And if it is a boxing match, like I think it's going to be, well, we got to keep in mind that Rob Font has a 6-inch reach advantage over Cody Garbrandt. And while I am a Cody Garbrandt fan, I've liked him for a long time. And this is a tough one to pick because he has beat Font's previous opponents. He just doesn't have that great of a technique anymore. When he gets hit, he doesn't really know how to react. So I have a feeling that Rob Font's going to use that long reach that he has over Cody Garbrandt, keep his distance just enough, but still stand in there like tight where he's, landing big shots on Cody Garbrandt, and potentially get a knockout here. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I'm kind of feeling Rob Font for a KO on this one. I don't know what the lines are. They're not even up yet so far as I've seen, but follow us on Twitter and we'll be posting them up. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Rob Font for a KO here.
On Wednesday at 6:38 p.m., I have the lines at Rob Font -115, Cody Garbrandt -105. So essentially that's telling me that this is a pick-em. Vegas isn't even sure yet. A lot of people haven't gotten their bets in, so I'm sure as we get closer, we're going to see, those lines change and we're going to maybe see a favor, but we may not. It may be a straight-up pick 'em fight to right up until when the fight starts. Listen, Thomas Almeida, he lost 4 of his last 5 in a row, coming to Jimmy Rivera, Rob Font by TKO kick, Jonathan Martinez, and then Sugar Sean O'Malley TKO punch. That was the one where Sean knocked him out and thought he was out. He wasn't out, came back. He goes, oh, well, I want to knock him out with my right hand, so came back, knocked him out with the right hand.
Another right hand from Sugarland.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like Sugar Sean. I love watching him fight. Don't like him as a person. Sean, come fight me. I'll happily take a punch or a kick. Just pay my medical bills, please. That being said, listen, Rob has a really great jab. He's got a phenomenal jab, and you couple that with being the more technical boxer. You couple that with having the longer reach too, against a fighter who, listen, Cody Garbrandt, super fast, but he doesn't have a ton of we think of him having a ton of really, really great wins. But at the end of the day, he fought a couple no names, Thomas Almeida, who largely fell off after that fight. Taeka Mizugaki, not a large name, not a super stupendous fighter. I'm pretty sure he's not even in the UFC anymore. He went out and he won a unanimous decision against Dominic Cruz. It was a solid win, but it could have gone to Dominic Cruz, but still solid win in 2016. That's 4 years ago. Then he went on, he lost to TJ Dillashaw because they had that rivalry. He got an automatic rematch, lost again. He lost by TKO punches both times. Now you can say that was, the performance enhancing drugs on TJ Dillashaw, but you can take as many steroids if you want. If you're not in the gym, you're not going to get a great physique. So, listen, I still give TJ Dillashaw the edge over Cody Garbrandt. Then he comes back. He loses to Pedro Munoz. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but they actually headbutted, and that really pissed off Cody Garbrandt that the ref didn't say anything. And when Cody Garbrandt gets mad, he gets wild. Now, he is training with a new coach. I believe he's training with Matt Hughes. So, he's looked better since coming back and fighting with Rafael Asuncao. He had a really fast KO of him, but I think that was more or less Asuncao just getting like lazy at the end of the round. I mean, you've got both probably remember, you probably saw it. It was one of the knockouts of the year. It was right at the bell. A Sunsao gave a lazy jab, and Cody Garbrandt ducked under, and boom, came up with the right hook, knocked him out cold and clean, fell on his face. And a Sunsao, he doesn't get knocked down. But here's what we know about Cody Garbrandt. We know he is a fast fighter. We know he can get reckless, and we know he's got some power. But when you pair that against a guy like Rob Font, who's got a lot of experience, he's the more technical boxer. He always has his hands near his head to protect himself. He's got the reach advantage. He works off that really great jab. Listen, if Cody can stay calm, I think he has a really good shot here. I just don't know if he can. Rob Font also has some great wins over Marlon Moraes and Ricky Simone. The Marlon Moraes fight, I mean, I watched it this morning, and I also watched it 2 days ago because it's just such a good fight. Marlon Moraes takes him down because that's his specialty, because he knows that he can't stand with Rob Font. And as soon as Rob Font gets away from Marlon Moraes, first round knockout. So I really like Rob Font here. I'm not quick to lock it in as a lock. Personally, I would like to see Cody Garbrandt win. I love No Love. And, he's a great fighter. He's fun to watch. I'd love to see him go on a streak, have TJ Dillashaw come back, and, maybe at some point they go for the trilogy. And, I wouldn't mind seeing Cody Garbrandt, come back and beat him, especially because Cody Garbrandt, I believe, he's really not too old compared to TJ Dillashaw's 35. And it doesn't even say his age here. I'd have to do the math. What's July 7th, 1991? How old does that make him?
That's
29.
Yeah, 29.
Makes him 29. So a year down the road, he'll be 30. TJ Dillashaw is 36, coming off of some injuries. He's coming off of a couple of years out. He's coming off of the EPO suspension. I'd like to see Cody Garbrandt go back out and get a dub there. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to beat Rob Font.
Yeah, just 2 points just to play off what you said. Yeah, Cody Garbrandt does get very wild, and say Rob Font does catch him or do something maybe a little bit dirty, knowing that Cody Garbrandt's this type of dude. He might do something a little bit fishy to encourage Cody Garbrandt to come back out just swinging like a madman in the next round. And did you mention the fact that Cody Garbrandt had a tough battle with COVID?
I don't know if I didn't. Thanks for bringing that up, Keith. He had a really, really tough battle with COVID. Actually, one of the worst, that I've heard, especially, you hear a lot of these, very athletic guys. They sometimes can kick COVID like it's nothing, or they have a really, really bad deal with it. I think in Cody Garbrandt's case, he was asymptomatic, and these guys, they train so hard that they overtrain their bodies. Like sometimes it's actually it's bad how much they train and how hard they go. And these guys, they have some of the strongest minds in the entire world. That it's not like they're superhuman. Their bodies hurt just like yours and mine do. The problem is that our brains are normal, and generally we stop when we feel pain, at least to a certain degree. These guys don't. And that's why they're so much better at taking shots. You need to be crazy in order to get to the level of skill that these guys are at. That being said, Cody Garbrandt, Khamzat Chimaev, these guys had really, really bad problems with COVID because they just consistently kept training until the wheels fall off, till quite literally almost their lungs fall off. So now you have Cody Garbrandt coming back after 11 months away. He's coming back after a long bout with COVID. We know he's a wild fighter against the guy who's more technical, longer, works off the long jab, and Rob Font, he's got almost a 7-inch reach advantage at the same exact height. He's had more significant strikes landed per minute. He's got better accuracy. He's got better takedown percentages and averages. And he's got a better submission average. Not to say this fight's going to go to the ground, but if it does, it favors Rob Font as well. Listen, I really like Rob Font here. Not going to lock it in as a lock because with that speed and that power of Cody Garbrandt, anything can happen at any time. But I like Rob Font.
Yeah, I think one last thing to mention just before we let Skid say his piece is this is a bantamweight division where the belt is held by Aljamain Sterling, and anybody, any MMA fan that you ask, that man's the paper champ. Nobody likes him at this point.
Boo! Boo, Aljo! Boo!
Absolutely, man. I've never seen somebody deserve an Oscar the way that Aljamain Sterling does. But Rob Font, he is ranked number 3, right? And we do have a lot of guys coming back. We do have TJ Dillashaw coming back. This is Cody Garbrandt coming back after 11 months. Who else? Henry Cejudo was teasing potentially coming back. We got Peter Yan, who's going to go back for that belt at some point. So I have a feeling that, just Dana White and Sean Shelby being the matchmakers that they are, know that They're looking to put somebody up either against Aljamain Sterling when he comes back and like the heal from his neck surgery, or potentially someone to take an interim belt if he never comes back. So I feel like they're really doing a good job now. We were supposed to have TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen. They're just really trying to shuffle this division around and see who they can put into a position to get that belt from Aljamain Sterling. Skids. Oh, Tom, you got something else you want to say?
I was just going to run through the bantamweight divisional rankings for you. You got Aljo, throw him away. He's trash. He's garbage. Peter Yan, who's the champion. Corey Sandhagen, who I think is going to lose. Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt, Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes, who, remind you, Rob Font just beat, Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munoz, Dominic Krug, Marav Dwavishvili, who should be way higher on on the ranking, and then you have Rafael Asuncao, who is Cody's last win. So, I mean, when we're going to look at comparing who these guys beat in their most recent fight, it just goes more towards Rob Font, and I think a lot of people are going to bet on Cody Garbrandt because he's more of a name. Like I said, my heart wants to go with Cody Garbrandt. I like Cody Garbrandt. I want to see him fight. I want to see him do well. But Rob Font's going to win this fight.
Yeah, we want the public to take Cody Garbrandt because we always fade the public. Kids, what do you got for us on this one?
They don't call him Rob Wingdings Font for nothing. He's going to go out there in that ring, and he's going to be winging, and he's going to be dinging. All right? They call him Cody Garbage for a reason. All right? This guy is fucking trash. All right? Cody's going to go in there. He's going to get knocked around for a little bit. He's going to try to throw little haymakers here and there. But you know what? Rob's going to come in. He's going to hit him with that ground and pound, and he's going to get in there, and he's going to show him who's boss. And I'm talking undercover boss. He's not going to have any idea what hit him. Rob Font, baby, send it to the moon. It's a lock. Put it in today because he's going to be the favorite by Saturday night.
I know he's just spitballing, but that actually is not a terrible, like.
That was great, and I love it, dude. I love your takes, kids. That was awesome. We're going to have to clip that up for the YouTube and for the IGTV. That was very well said. I love it.